What is the most painful thing you have endured? Mine's not physical pain. I used to cut dead people's corneas out for transplant, organ donation. One night I worked on someone who looked eerily like my dad. Similar looking skin and hair. I quit a few months later. Being in court and seeing my 3-year-old daughter passed me by and say, "Hey Daryl." She was told that she couldn't call me daddy anymore. Getting run over by a tractor. The worst thing was the week in the hospital after. Dislocating my knee and tearing tendons. I have a strong pain tolerance, but it literally felt like someone stabbed me with a hit poker. Kidney stones. 3-week cluster headache. Broke my femur skateboarding. The EMT had to readjust it or it would tear through my muscle. I was 17. Fell naked into a ditch full of nettles when I was 2 or 3. Felt paralyzed with a constant hellish burn coating my entire body. Didn't leave the house for 2 days straight. Was in a village. So no hospitals nearby and had to stomach it without treatment or entertainment to distract me. I remember nothing before 4 years old. But this was so traumatic that it's ingrained as a core memory. You hate to think about it. Back spasms as a teenager from lifting wood improperly. Was out of school for like a week. Being like 3 weeks away from death due to sickness because me GF at that time manipulated me in thinking I'm okay, and then when I went to the hospital BC I literally blacked out randomly. She broke up with me. Sad it's my fault and that I'm in a hole and that she probably will say to the police I raped her. Which I didn't. Because due to sickness I wasn't even really able to do it at that time. Then after hospital is stood there 1 month away from going to university. In the middle of a pandemic. Betrayed by the one I always treasured more than myself and with an incurable sickness. 2020 was not my year. I'm still trying to piece me together after that. Kidney stones. No question. Even after having broken 3 ribs and shattered my sternum. Kidney stones. Hands down. Teeth be drilled on with no numbing. Once when I had a really bad toothache. I was eating and accidentally bit down on the tooth too hard. It sent a shockwave of pain so intense into my head that it felt like getting stabbed in the brain. It hurt so bad I collapsed on the floor. 6 years ago when my dad told me to "fuck off you cunt." Haven't spoken since. Spontaneous pneumothorax, aka collapsed lung for some reason. Most likely these things called blebs. On my lung. From what I hear it's colloquially called popcorn lung. Smoking may not always kill. But it certainly hurts. A cardiac arrest due to my bowel blowing up 3 weeks prior and my fecal matter poisoning all of my organs, putting my body in full shutdown mode. Scorpion attack twice. Pancreatitis. Even doped up in the hospital I was in agony. Telling my mother and aunt I was begging abused by an older relative as a child and having them tell me to just stay away from him. Then making excuses for him and insisting I forgive and forget and spend time around him at family gatherings. This among other hurtful reactions, and never just pure compassion or any protection. Their dismissive responses that continue to this day make me feel that I never was truly loved by them. It's like having the ground disappear from under me. Grasping for a familiar warm hand but nothing is there. Then they judge me for distancing myself. Struggling with panic attacks and taking medication. When my mom asks for the 20th time over the years, "You used to be such a sweet girl. What happened?" I laugh now and just leave. A circumcision way past birth, as a child. Finding out that sneaky gut feeling was right and my husband was cheating. Hemorrhoid surgery. Like crapping a telephone pole wrapped in barbed wire. Realizing I lost my daughter to parental alienation no matter what I tried to get her to understand. I loved her, she was just gone. I've suffered through a lot of mental pain in my life and also a lot of physical pain. Childbirth and miscarriages. But that was the worst thing. I just broke and fell on the floor and screamed. My dog dying. I still cry about losing her even though it's been 8 months, she was my best friend. Standing up with a broken leg. You felt the broken bones pass each other's. Wisdom teeth extraction. Losing my wife to the illness that took her far, far too early. Appendicitis twice kicked in the balls, broken heart. Loneliness. Got full pressure of a powder fire extinguisher in my eye. Blew my cornea right off my eyeball. Managed to find help and was later told I looked like a ghost. I was rushed to the hospital and had a contact-type thing put over my eyeball under my eyelids with fluid connected to it. Hurt like hell at that point and was laying like that for 2 hours before they would attempt surgery. Last thing I remember was laying in an operating room where a mask was put over my face with my dad standing above me. The moments before I fell under, I thought I was dying. Surgery went well. And no serious damage happened after the incident, luckily. A couple years later, when my cornea grew back fully and had adjusted, I needed glasses because of massive headaches. Currently looking into LASIK and similar procedures.